And welcome to the show. Happy Friday night. Welcome to the show. Remember, if you like what you hear, like and subscribe and share it if you want to. Let's talk about the Southern Poverty Law Center allegedly, mentally, metaphorically, ambitiously. But let's talk about them. So, the Southern Poverty Law Center was built to basically stop racism and hate and make the workforce better for people and so on and so forth. But I don't think they were created to supposedly, allegedly, I'm just a dude with a microphone, allegedly fund the KKK and right wing racist groups and basically have a bunch of feds infiltrate all these groups to make them bigger than they really are. I don't think that was their purpose, but that is what they did, supposedly. Wire fraud, money laundering, you name it. But the big problem is, it's like with any charity or any, soul bearing, I'm going to pour my soul into certain things. Nonprofits. I work for a nonprofit. Oh, you work for a nonprofit. So, well, we got to get a paycheck of $100,000 a year, I got to eat too. So basically, how nonprofits work, if they mean well, the people mean well, but the core of it is if you don't have the problem, you can't offer the solution. You can't fix it. And if it's just like cancer, if you cure cancer, you can't treat cancer. If you treat cancer, you don't make any money by curing things. It's just like with homelessness. You don't make any money off of people not being homeless. You have to have homeless people to get a paycheck when you work for a homeless shelter or your administration. And that's the thing with the Southern Poverty Law Center and those kinds of charities. You have to have racism. You have to have a boogeyman in order to scare people into giving you money. And unfortunately, I think this is a lot bigger than the whole unfortunate like race pimping. And we have to remember the history of the KKK. The KKK came out of the South after the Civil War, and then it got planted on a bunch of trailer park boys, and it supposedly swung over to the Republican Party while the Democrats were blockbusting and redlining entire cities. And it has basically scared generations into voting Democrats because they keep on saying, oh, we're going to change it. We're going to help. We're going to help. Ain't going to help. Stop being a groupie. That's the problem. The groupies give these people money because they think they're actually doing something, but they're not a part of the band. You're not a part of the band, groupie. You're not a part of the band. Darth Vader's a part of the band, but you're not a part of the band. And the Southern Poverty Law Center is allegedly just, they created all of this hate and nastiness that have split up marriages and split up families and people not talking to each other because everybody thinks everybody's racist. And everybody's like, oh, you voted for Trump, you're racist. Well, supposedly the Southern Poverty Law Center had those people march with those torches and create this entire, oh, there were good people and bad people there, but listen to the entire speech. I'm not saying it for Trump, but I'm saying it for the fact that we were all deceived because they make money off of deception, blackmail, deception, Epstein folks. That is who we're talking about. And the Epstein folks are probably a part of the Southern Poverty Law Center. They probably fund it. Let's get to the facts, people. Blackmail is the name of the game. Money laundering is a damn shame. But those corporations need those tax write-offs. And those corporations roll that money into those NGOs. And USAID rolled that money into the Southern Poverty Law Center. And they basically launched Joe Biden's presidency. Because he's like, oh, I saw those people marching. I knew I had to run. Allegedly. That is what we have to say. Allegedly. Because don't sue me, bro. As I said, I'm just a person with a microphone. But King Koopa has to feed, you know. Excuse me. Really dry. Need some water. But that's the stick here. You have to have a problem to offer the solution. And the problem is we shipped all of our jobs out of the Rust Belt. We closed down all of our factories. We basically decimated the United States with fentanyl, drugs, the whole like painkiller highway, decimated it. And we have all these poverty pimps and race pimps that spent their entire generations of folks basically promising them prosperity and never offering it. Yet never talking about how they created the problem, but they offered the solution, but they never ever fix anything. And that's the problem. And that's why I mentioned yesterday when I was saying the idea of Trump putting your country first, putting your family first, putting everything that you cherish first instead of someone else's plan. Protect your plan and then work your way out. Help yourself and then you can help other people. But these people prey on the people who show up to the polls and vote every 2 to 4 years. They prey on the people that spend 20 hours a week playing that foosball, you know, watching that foosball. It's the devil, Bobby. They prey on those people because nobody likes racism. Nobody likes poverty. Those are some really good issues to basically pull resources from. You don't like the children? Look at the children over there. You don't like the children. Yeah, I like kids. Give me some money. Are you gonna help the children? No, I gotta go to Lake Como. What are you talking about? So the Southern Poverty Law Center lawsuit is just so huge. It's so huge. Excuse me. And then the whole generations of poverty when they go up there and say we're gonna fix it and not fix it. That's disgusting. I remember Bill Clinton up there. Don't stop thinking about tomorrow, you know, in his saxophone on Arsenio. Little did we know, he was working for Darth Vader. He was at the dark side. And we didn't know that because we were so wound up from the Bushes. But we also have to put into perspective, the Bushes made their money off of the Nazis because Prescott Bush was a Nazi banker. Yet 2 of his relatives became president. That is how naive the voters of the United States are, in somewhat. Is that we will put the family of Nazi bankers into power, and then we'll allow the party that created the KKK, the Democratic Party, after the Civil War, basically put us in ghettos and make false promises and point out the boogeyman constantly when they are the boogeyman in the first place, because they have to have the constant boogeyman to be able to sell prosperity and social services that they keep people wrapped in. They're gonna take away our food stamps. They're gonna take away our welfare. Well, you're creating generations of poverty by closing everything down, so people don't have purpose. People need purpose. If you don't have purpose, of course you're gonna sit home because there's no reason not to. What's the incentive? People need incentive. People need the shiny little toy. People need the shiny little toy to make them feel like they're actually winning something. If there's no incentive, yeah, someone's going to spend the next 20, 30 years on welfare and social project and being a part of the poverty class because they have no hope. There's no future where they live. Oh, move. Okay, well, you have to have skills. If you don't have skills, you don't have any prosperity. That's why the Democratic Party bringing in the third world and the second world into a first world country, it creates even more poverty, even more people relying on the system because they have no skills. And that's unfortunate, but you're taking advantage of them by offering them slave labor. That's why the Republican Party loves them so much because they can work in their factories for dirt cheap. And the Democrats love them because they keep their congressional districts full. They don't care about the actual people, folks. That's why we need to start caring about our local districts. That's what we need to start focusing on. If you're focused on Washington, which is like average, 1,000+ miles away, no. It all starts local and it works its way out. Just like with you. It starts with you. If you don't help yourself, you can't help anybody else. And if we had an actual sense of community, we wouldn't have these people from the supposed Southern Poverty Law Center taking advantage of entire generations. We wouldn't. Because people would shame people into like, hey, wait, what are you doing? I'm going out there to riot. Like, the damn you are, get your ass in here and I'll beat that ass. You don't have that. You don't have that, which is unfortunate. But I'm gonna cut this video short. It's just, oh my God, it's so embarrassing as a country to have people in power take so much advantage of so many generations and do it with a smile on their face. Both sides. It's both disgusting. Democrat and Republican. Because they both have their own grift. And it's in the lesser of two evils crap. It's just like the saying, happy wife, happy life. It's the exact same. If the husband's not happy, what's the point of making the wife happy? And what's the point? Because you have to have incentive. You can't just keep one side happy the entire time, or else it's just everybody's just miserable. But anyway, all right, like and subscribe. Have a wonderful night. Thanks for watching.